Hi, welcome back to Christine's Health Affairs.
Welcome, guys, and the whole family's here tonight.
Yep, we've got Coco with us. She's allowing us to sit on the couch tonight.
Yeah, it's her couch. In fact, she owns the house. We just kind of live here and feed her.
We're just here for the food. We've had a big week. It's Tuesday night. Tomorrow morning, by the time you guys see this, it'll be less than 12 hours and I start my first chemo treatment. And we've had a pretty big week since our PET scan last week.
That was the last thing we reported.
Yep, that was episode 6. I had the PET scan on Thursday.
And Friday was supposed to be an MRI. Have you talked about that?
Haven't talked about anything.
Okay.
Friday, to be quite honest, turned to shit.
Yeah, it was fairly traumatic.
Yeah.
I guess if there was going to be a hiccup in our journey, that was a good one to have because it ultimately doesn't really matter. But
and the fact that he still loves me, do you?
Yeah.
After seeing me that day on Friday?
Officially, yes. It was, Christine is claustrophobic, and we talked about that, and a lot of people have, she's getting tired, a lot of people have helped with strategies on how to cope with MRIs, and Christine got through the PET scan, which was a CT scan.
And that was a breeze by comparison.
Yeah, but the MRI machine is very long, quite small, and you had to lie on your tummy and there wasn't any room to move. And I think it was possibly going to work until they put the headphones on you, earplugs and headphones, or earmuffs, I guess they call them. And it was a panic situation, and we tried. I actually went into the room as well, and it just didn't work. But as it turned out, we spoke to our oncologist and you also spoke to the surgeon, and they both agreed that the MRI was really only to get an accurate size, and they'd pretty well decided that it was big enough that we had to do the chemo and the immunotherapy, which we're going to try and avoid that. But
that was the main reason why we were having the MRI in the first place was, the surgeon wanted us to have that to clarify the size.
Yeah.
But we needed to know how big it was to determine whether or not we were going to go ahead with immunotherapy.
Yeah.
We are going to go ahead with that because it is a lot bigger than we had thought it was going to be. And whether we have the MRI or not, we know that it is. I think
the oncologist was kind of saying you really need to have both treatments. If we're going to hit it hard, we need to do both. So trying to avoid the immunotherapy because it has a lot more side effects than chemo was, I don't know, we thought it might be worthwhile avoiding, but as it's turned out, we're going to go with that treatment. And I think it's for the best.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
So if you want a silver lining, we saved about $500 not having the MRI.
Did. And I survived.
Yeah.
Because I honestly had an absolute meltdown, and I think
it was an automatic panic reflex, and you couldn't help it.
But when she was preparing me, because she had to put a line in so they could put the dye through. When she was preparing me, I think I kind of got really overwhelmed with everything that had been happening.
Yeah. So, there's been so much going on in the last 2 weeks we've had to come to terms with, and it's just all built up, didn't it?
I thought I was over it,
It's okay.
I am when I'm not talking about it.
Yeah, but the other thing was because it was at a radiotherapy place, what do they call it?
It was a private clinic.
Yeah, so they couldn't administer any sedation.
Drugs,
and we could have, they said all you could really try is Valium, and then you'd have to get a prescription for it.
Yep.
Would have taken time. So it really wasn't
So
an
there were
option.
things I should have done. I knew that I was claustrophobic. I didn't know I was going to have such a big reaction to it. I should have had a prescription for Valium to take the edge off and taken that about an hour or so before. But when I was in there, and it's quite funny now thinking about it, though I looked quite hideous because I was just bawling my eyes out and carrying on.
It was traumatic.
I was carrying on like a banshee, wasn't I? I was just shocking.
Yeah, but it was panic.
I did have a major meltdown. They put me into the tunnel And it didn't bother me that I was laying on my stomach and they have these holes there for your breasts to go in, and I thought I had to put my head in there. I said, no, move up. And it was quite uncomfortable as well. And going into the tunnel, I was okay, and I decided I'd leave my eyes open for it rather than closing them because I wanted to see what was going on. And I was okay with that. I was a little bit anxious. And when she put the earplugs on, I was okay because I could still hear. But the minute that she put the earmuffs on my ears and spoke to me and I couldn't hear, losing the ability to move, being constricted in there and told you're not allowed to move a muscle, and then losing your hearing, I just lost the plot completely. I was in a mad scramble to get out of the bed. She couldn't get me out of there quickly enough. And as I got up, I knocked the cap on the line that I had, and just blood spreading out everywhere. So she's panicking, trying to clean all of that up and trying to calm me down. And
I wonder if they video what goes on in that room.
it would be a comedy, wouldn't it?
It would be an interesting sight, because I didn't see that. I went in afterwards.
Yeah, and they did tell me that, you could have your husband in there. He can sit at the end of the tunnel, because I wasn't allowed to have any drugs now because it was too late to administer it, and they're not allowed to. So Chris was good. He came in and saw me at my absolute worst, and that he's still here.
So
you're a good guy.
Well, thank you. What we have learnt was that if Christine needs to have an MRI for anything in the future, it will be at a hospital where they can do the sedation, because otherwise you're just not going to do it.
It won't be happening.
No. So that was our Friday.
Oops. You go ahead.
What's Mummy going to get treats?
No.
It wasn't a wasted trip though to Melbourne, because we had to have some blood tests done and we got those done. So I'm keeping track of how many trips we do down there. I think, what are we up to, about 7?
We've done 7 trips in 2.5 weeks.
So it's about an hour and 15 minutes to the oncologist and where we're going to be having the chemo, which we start tomorrow. But the MRI was further into the city. So we've done a fair bit of driving, but it is what it is.
Yep.
So that did Friday, and then we had the weekend in the shop and we were quite busy, and it was good to have that distraction.
Yeah, I needed the distraction.
And then Monday...
I did lots of meal prepping as well.
Did, yeah.
I cooked up a storm. I had pots all around the entire kitchen. There's no way I could show you what the kitchen looked like because it was a big mess. And then the cleaning crew came in.
We cleaned it up. Coco managed the floor and I did the bench tops. So yesterday, being Monday, she did get a treat.
She got a treat.
Yesterday we had to leave here at 6 a.m.
We did, yeah.
And we had an appointment at 7:30 for Christine to be the pre-op for your port.
So I had my port put in yesterday.
It. Just one.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, one.
No, one treat.
So I've got a port put in here. It's all ready to go for tomorrow morning. So that thing sits under the skin for the duration of my treatment. And then they can just hook up the chemo to whatever is in here. So it's quite tender. Looks like I had a can of beetroot thrown at me because there's pink stuff everywhere. My hair's pink underneath. They made a bit of a mess.
They did, yeah.
And hope tomorrow most of the wrapping will come off and the dangly bits will come off, and I'll just have this lump under the skin.
I think she wants another treat. Oh, you've got another one. That's why she's interested. So for anyone that is perhaps on this journey or sees this video and is wondering what the port's all about, it was a short procedure.
Yeah, that was actually really easy.
It wasn't a full anaesthetic either, was it?
No, I was awake for the whole thing. In fact, had I needed to be sedated, they would have had to have booked me in again to have an appointment so that they could get the anaesthetist to come in.
Yes,
yeah.
okay.
So that's a separate thing again.
Yep.
So I was quite nervous and apprehensive, and he told me, this is how it is. And I said, well, this is what happened to me on Friday with the MRI. And he said, well, if that's how you're going to be, we're going to have to reschedule you to do this again on another day and get the anaesthetist in. And I said, well, I'm just going to have to suck it up then, aren't I?
But this wasn't a claustrophobic issue.
No, but I think I was just so stressed from everything else that happened on Friday.
Right. Well, as it turned out, you got through that fine.
I did. That was actually really good. The room you went into was absolutely icy. I was shaking, just really trembling. But by the time they give you the drugs to calm you down, you feel good. You don't feel that icy chill anymore. They cover your face, make you turn your head the other way. They cover your face and and give you a little window to look out of so that you feel a little bit more comfortable. And they give you a local anaesthetic. You don't feel anything, that was actually pretty good.
So with the pre-op and the actual procedure, and then you being in recovery for a while, was what, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours? No, probably a bit longer than 2, about 3 hours. And the hospital's a very modern hospital, and just downstairs they had a really nice cafe area. And I think I took a photo, I'll show you that. I set up an office and I did some editing of my own videos and had a coffee, and there may or may not have been a shortbread jam biscuit.
That I didn't get. No.
So after chemo tomorrow, I've got to buy one of those.
Gluten-free custard for me, thanks very much.
Won't.
That's what I had, gluten-free custard.
Was it? Yeah. They gave you gluten-free?
It was okay.
Oh. I'll buy you a jam shortbread biscuit tomorrow after chemo. That's a reward for being a good girl through chemo.
We're actually, well, I don't know about you, but I'm actually looking forward to now this whole thing getting started, because we now know what's in store for us. Well, after tomorrow, we'll know what is in store for us.
It's been a flurry of appointments and working out everything and reading stuff and communications with the oncologist and everything. From tomorrow, we kind of just settle into a routine of Wednesday morning chemo, pretty much.
We were supposed to have an echocardiogram yesterday.
Right. But you got the dates wrong.
The dates were wrong, and it's next Monday, not yesterday.
But we've put it off for a Wednesday, because it's not so important at the moment.
And that way we don't have to make 2 trips.
Yep.
So I've been busy making port pillows. A few of you have suggested port pillows for the seatbelt, and I've been busy making a couple of those, and I've also been really busy preparing for baldness and making head wraps and scarves and things like that. So that sort of stuff I'm doing videos for. They'll be over on my Christine's Home Affairs channel. And so I'm going to try and do things. I haven't been able to do any videos for my channel for a while because we've had so many things on, and I just haven't been in the right headspace. Hopefully I'll get onto that soon.
Well, also, we worked the 2 days of the weekend, and we were in Melbourne Thursday, Friday and Monday.
Exactly, so, we've had no time.
So you've had some mail, though.
We've had lots of mail, which has been fantastic. Letters and cards from UK and Australia. And it's just been beautiful. Thank you. I'm not going to read them out because I get too emotional. So Jan...
But they're just people showing their support, and we really appreciate. There's one from Tasmania, wasn't there?
Jan from Tasmania.
One from Wales. Hello, you're back again.
Mo from Wales, Southwest Wales. And then there was also...
One from England, was it?
Julianne from England as well. I can't remember where that one was from.
One was Wales, one was England.
Yeah.
So
they're beautiful. Great. I really love reading the letters. We do love those, don't we? Yeah.
Yep. Fantastic.
And for those that have donated, that has been fantastic as well. Yeah. The generosity of everybody and the love in the comments has just been amazing. It helps me get through.
Yeah, absolutely. A few people have continued to ask Christine about a GoFundMe page, which we kind of didn't want to do. It's not like we're not on Skid Row. We can afford to do this. We're very fortunate that
we have private health cover.
We have private health cover. Australia has a very good health system. There is a gap to pay, but we're fortunate that we don't have to ask a boss for time off. We run our own shop.
Yeah.
It's the one shop between 2 of us, and it's only on a weekend. YouTube is giving us a great income, which is fantastic. And I guess if you want to help, you've got to have the buy me a coffee option or just donations. But
PayPal donation.
we're not asking for donations.
No.
Probably the best thing you can do is just watch our new channel.
Yeah.
Share it around if you know people going through this. That's probably the best way, because then you don't pay anything, YouTube pays us. And that's just showing, I think probably the emotional support's probably even more valuable than the monetary support, isn't it?
The GoFundMe is, I feel it's for somebody, and it's all well and good for other people to have GoFundMe pages. That's fine. But I just feel for myself, I'm not I'm not in dire need of a GoFundMe page.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going off to Switzerland for specialist treatment. I'm staying here.
Yeah. And, you know, we're fortunate as well. Family are looking after us with lots of other help, and people have offered to look after Coco.
Yeah.
And so, there's some amazing help out there.
Yeah.
But, So
we will get by.
We will. Do we have anything else to report?
Nope. Chemo soon, tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Big drive.
Got to be down there at 8:30 in the morning. We'll be right in the middle of peak hour traffic.
Yep.
So, but it shouldn't be too bad. I'll take my laptop.
Yep, we'll be taking our laptops, editing some videos. I'm taking my Helping Hands card holders, fabric and CDs. So those of you that know how I feel about making those, you'll feel for me. But I'm taking some sewing with me.
And I'm not.
He'll probably take a box that he has to unpack.
I'd love to scrap out some of those hospital machines. They look really cool.
You can scrap out all the MRIs in Australia.
I think Christine wants me to scrap out the MRIs, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, that's it.
Yep, that's it.
We're going to sign off?
Yes, we are.
Go on.
Cancer's tough, but so are we.
That's it. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, see ya.